You notice something in you lights up. But instead of walking over, you find 100 reasons not to. You tell yourself it's not the right moment, or that she's probably not interested anyway, or that you'll just wait and see what happens. But another day passes, and you didn't say anything. Again. This isn't about her. It's not even really about confidence. It's about a very specific fear most people never learn to name. Maybe it's the coworker you find any excuse to walk past, but never actually talk to. Maybe it's the person in your friend group you've liked for over a year, and somehow everyone already knows except her. Maybe it's a message you've started writing 5 different times and deleted every single one. Maybe you've told yourself you're just not the type to make the first move. Maybe you've convinced yourself that if she wanted you, she'd make it obvious. Maybe you've built an entire personality around being unreadable, so no one can see how much you actually want this. And every time you don't act, it feels like relief, like you dodged something. This isn't a lack of interest. It's the opposite. It means the stakes feel too high to risk being wrong. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why rejection feels like danger to some men, and what's actually driving the hesitation. Block 1. Where it comes from. Somewhere early on, most boys learn a very specific lesson about rejection. Maybe it was the time you liked someone in 3rd grade, and your friends found out before she did, and laughed. It's not just, she said no. It's exposure. Being seen wanting something you didn't get. And in front of other people, that isn't just disappointment, it's humiliation. So the nervous system files it under something to avoid at all costs, not because wanting is dangerous, but because being watched while you don't get what you want is. From then on, some men learn to want quietly, carefully, where no one can see it land or miss. Block 2. The mechanism. This connects to a pattern psychologists call rejection sensitivity, the nervous system anticipating rejection before it even happens. It doesn't wait for the actual no. It reacts to the possibility of it, the same way it would react to an actual threat. So the brain does something clever. It removes the risk entirely by removing the attempt. If you never ask, you can't be told no. You just get to wonder. So instead, the mind rehearses it 100 different ways. Safer versions, where nothing is ever actually risked. And wondering, as painful as it feels, is still safer than knowing, because maybe leaves your self-worth intact. No, doesn't. So the hesitation isn't weakness. It's a nervous system protecting you from a wound it's already decided it can't survive. Block 3. The shame around it. But nobody explains this to you growing up, so it usually gets translated into something else. I'm just not confident enough. I'm bad at this. Something is wrong with me. And that story becomes its own kind of proof, replaying every time you hesitate again. But wanting someone and being afraid to reach for them aren't opposites. They're the same feeling, wearing 2 different faces. The fear isn't evidence that you don't want it enough. It's evidence of exactly how much it would matter if it didn't work. The paradox. Here's the part that rarely gets said out loud. The men who hesitate the most are often the ones who care the most. It's easy to mistake calm for confidence and hesitation for a lack of it. But it doesn't actually work that way. The ones who make it look easy usually aren't risking anything real, because they've already decided not to actually attach to the outcome. But the ones who go quiet, who overthink, who talk themselves out of it, that's not indifference. That's someone standing in front of something that actually matters to them. And that's exactly why it feels so loud on the inside. What actually helps here isn't forcing yourself to just be confident. It's understanding that the fear was never about her. It was about protecting a version of yourself that already got hurt once. None of this disappears overnight, and it doesn't need to. Awareness alone starts to loosen its grip. It might mean taking the smallest possible action instead of the perfect one. A sentence, not a speech. It might look as small as saying, "Hey, I've been meaning to talk to you." Nothing more dramatic than that. It might mean accepting that some attempts won't land, and that this says something about timing, not about your worth. The want doesn't need to disappear before you act. It just needs somewhere to go. You were never actually afraid of her. You were afraid of what it would mean about you if she said no. And that fear was never proof you weren't ready. It was proof of how much you were.